What's going on, guys? It's Caleb, or Namirine, back with another video, and in this one, we are talking about Takopi's Original Sin. Man, the first thing I gotta say is, what the hell did I just watch? I binged all 6 episodes last night, and dude, this anime straight up toyed with my emotions more than most animes that are like 100 plus episodes. This shit was actually just a straight up roller coaster. But before we get into this video will obviously contain spoilers for the entirety of Takopi's Original Sin. So if you haven't watched it already, go and do so, because you don't want spoilers for this anime. I'm telling you right now. Like, I don't care if you're a person who says, oh, spoilers don't affect me. Trust me, it will. Like, there is a plot twist that occurs, and it's insane. The emotions are insane, straight up. I'm telling you right now, go and watch this anime before watching this video, please. Also, if you clicked on this video expecting like a summary or synopsis of this anime, that's not really what we're going to be doing in this one. I'm really just going to be talking about like the key plot points that I thought were really cool and like the development of the characters and shit like that. So I guess in a way that will be sort of-ish summarized, but not really. Oh, and also, I hit 250 subs last night, so thank y'all for that. And with that, hey, if you want to subscribe, let's get it to 255 subs. That'd be so awesome. So please, like and subscribe. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into this. Okay, so the general idea of this anime is there's this thing, this little squid-looking alien thing that comes from the happy world. He's a Happian, and his mission is to spread joy and happiness all throughout the universe. Now, unluckily for this little squid thing, he unfortunately lands on Earth, probably like the most morally corrupt planet in the entire galaxy or universe, and he meets this girl, Shizuka. Now, Shizuka is like getting severely bullied, like not even realistic bullying, like I mean to the point like where this girl, Marina, is like a comic book villain. Well, I guess she technically is, but you know what I mean. It's kind of crazy. Now, Happy, or his name's not Happy, his name's Takopi. That's what she names him. Shizuka names him Tapoki because he looks like a little squid thing. I guess that's what squid is in Japanese. And he has all these happy gadgets that are supposed to make her happy. And, you know, he shows them all to her, and they all suck for the most part. Like, they're all pretty shitty. Now, one day, Shizuka comes back to, you know, Tapoki, and she has her dog's collar in her hand and is all beat up. And he doesn't understand this. He's like a little weird thing, and he gives her this one thing called the friendship ribbon that basically can stretch to infinity, and if your friend's holding one end and you're holding the other, it can repair the bonds of a broken friendship. But she takes it, and she hangs herself. She literally hangs herself. So Tapoki doesn't really understand why she would do this. He's like a really innocent creature. But he has this camera. Now, they took a picture earlier on in the episode, but the camera has a secret function. It can revert time to when that picture was taken. And he does it, and he plans on basically making it like in the new timeline to where Shizuka doesn't kill herself. So yeah, that's basically the general idea. Making Shizuka not kill herself. I kind of like breezed through a lot of plot points there, but I'm assuming you've watched this anime, you clicked on this video, so there's no point to talk about all like the little details yet, at least. But anyway, I want to talk about the characters, specifically the main 4 characters: Shizuka, Takopi, Azuma, and Marina. This is where the anime shines. This is what the anime is about. It's about these characters, how they're unhappy, how they're getting abused, how they take out, you know, the abuse on other people, the bullying, how it affects them, and just, you know, all that stuff. The first one I want to talk about is Shizuka. So, Shizuka's home life sucks, and that's a very common thing among all 4 of the characters. Well, out of the 3, Takopi's home life doesn't suck. He lives in a happy world, but Shizuka, her life sucks. Her mom is a hooker, which will be very important in a minute, and her mom basically is all for herself. She doesn't care about any of the effects that it has on her daughter or nothing like that. She just literally is all for herself, being, you know, a very promiscuous woman, only caring about having another man and yada yada yada. The house is horrible, like there's just junk everywhere. Her mom never ever comes to the parent-teacher conferences and all that stuff. She's never home. This, of course, has like a very negative effect on Shizuka's, you know, well-being. She can't take care of her. I mean, she's in 4th grade, I believe. So, and this has been going on her whole life. So she has a hard time taking care of herself, obviously, you know, cleaning properly herself and, you know, her house. Hard taking care of. She tries her best to take care of the dog, but again, you can't expect, you know, an elementary school student to fully take care of a dog. So he's kind of like, you know, sort of unruly. Like, it was implied that he barks loudly through the night and stuff like that. So, and like, the adults come over to, like, yell at her, try to, yell at her mom, but she's not there, so she gets that anger took out on her. And this really boils over at school. So Shizuka is bullied, like, severely. Like, I mean, almost, like, comically. Not comically, but, I mean, like, the villain, the bully, is almost like a comic book villain. Like, it's kind of crazy. Technically, it is a comic book. It's just Japanese comic book. But, yeah. Like, her desk has dye written all over it. Her backpack has dye, stinky poop. There's a bunch of, like, just terrible things written on her backpack. And even worse than that, too, like, the bully, like, legit beats her ass, breaks her board so she can't even do her schoolwork. And in one of the scenes, she was gonna stab her, straight up stab her. Like, that's insane. And of course, like we just said earlier, it reaches a boiling point with Chappie. Now, Chappie is like her emotional support, basically, because she has her mom. She can't lean on her mom. Oh, and also, I forgot to talk about her dad. Now, her dad's not in the picture. Her dad left, I don't know, probably like at least 5, 6, 7 years ago, I think. And he's no longer around. Now, Chappie was actually a gift from her dad before he left, basically. And he now lives in Tokyo. Now, one of the scenes, I'm not going to say I don't feel like explaining the entire thing of that yet, but basically, she goes to meet him in Tokyo in one of the scenes, and he legit pretends like he doesn't know her. He's a whole new family, which is terrible on her mental state. But anyway, Chappie is like her emotional support, obviously, because she has none of that from her parents. And Marina sees this. Oh, I forgot to say, her bully's name is Marina, this blonde girl. And Marina sees this and wants to make her life suck. And the best way to do this is get rid of her entire, stability. And, she basically tries to find her when she's taking her dog for a walk and starts bullying her, like beating her up. And of course, when you have a dog, if your dog sees, their owner getting beat up, they're gonna step in and try to, attack the person. And, this happens. So she, like, then screams, tries to get attention just to get the dog put down, basically. She, like, attacked it, so she would get injured, and the dog gets taken to the pound and put down. Now, this is what led Shizuka to kill herself the first time. Now, in this new timeline, Takopi basically, like, talks to her and stuff, says, she's okay, yada, 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 or he, I don't think it was a he, stuff like that. We'll find Chappie. And at this one scene, her mom had to be involved with this because all the cops and stuff. And she's very, like, cold and very dismissive, just on her phone, talking about she needs to get to work, yada, yada, yada. And tells her that, yeah, the dog's with your dad now, whatever, and then leaves. So, of course, she believes that. And that's what then eventually leads to her going to Tokyo and stuff and finding out there's no Chappie there, which is obvious to us, the viewer. Like, yeah, the dog bit a little kid. Of course he's going to get put down. But to her, she has that hope that he is still alive. And yeah. But anyway, as the episodes go on, I don't know if I said it in the thing, but I think I did. Yeah. In one of the scenes, she gets taken to the woods and beat up by Marina. Now, at this point, Takopi's like not going to stand for this anymore. So he takes the camera and just bang, whacks her in the head and kills her. He kills Marina. And this is why the anime is called Takopi's Original Sin, because he just killed someone. A pretty big sin for your first sin. So yeah, he kills her. Now, at the time, who cares? Fuck her. Fuck Marina. We're glad Marina's dead, right? She straight up bullied her. And it's still, even after the stuff we'll talk about in a minute, you still don't really care about. I mean, you do care, but, it's still, like, you don't go around beating someone up, getting their dog killed, and also literally going to stab her. Like, in one of the timelines, they're just going to stab her in the face. Like, what the fuck? I don't care how bad your home life is. You don't do that. But anyway, this is where you start to kind of not like Shizuka. That's, like, where, like, the stuff gets kind of crazy. Like, we get introduced to this one kid, Azuma, which we'll talk about more in a minute. But basically, she just starts manipulating him throughout this whole anime. Like, she starts manipulating him into basically doing her dirty work, like hiding the body, planning out the stuff, finding the murder, doing all this stuff, planning the escape plan into Tokyo to go and find Chappie. And in one of the scenes, they eventually, like, the police find Marina's body, and she basically convinces him to go and turn himself in and take the full blame for the murder. which is crazy. And, like, of course, that's gonna make you not like her, which is insane that this anime is able to do that. Like, it's able to take a girl that you know was getting bullied and make you start to not like her because she's legit basically making an innocent boy completely go to jail now for life, basically. Or I guess probably not life since they're in 4th grade, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But then you have to look at it from another perspective, right? Because it's all about self-preservation for her, with how her mom is. She's exhibiting stuff, which we'll talk about in a minute, but they're exhibiting behaviors of their parents. And, yeah, she's all about herself, just pure self-preservation. So from her mind, what she's doing is fine. She needs to care about herself, just getting too chappy. It's kind of crazy with all, like, the emotional depth that this anime has. But anyway, moving on. I want to talk now. Oh, wait, no. Also, in one of the scenes, she legit tries killing Takopi. Like, she beats him up with a rock. Kind of crazy. But anyway, the next one I want to talk about is Shizuka. Sorry, not Shizuka. What the hell am I saying? I want to talk, now about Marina. So, Marina is the bully. Like, I mean, and she is, like, almost comic book villain type of bullying. I don't know if you guys have ever read Jujika no Rokin. I don't know the English name for it. I just know it off that name. But it's the anime, like, where the bullies, like, legit are insane. Like, they, like, kill his parents and shit like that. She's practically like that. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she legit kills her dog. She does all this stuff. Stabs her. Insane shit. Now, why does Marina bully her? Well, this is where we begin to see, you know, the effects of the parents. She bullies her because her parents are going through a divorce, basically. And the reason for this divorce is her dad is actually having an affair with Shizuka's mom, the hooker. So, in her twisted, you know, little mind, because she's a young girl, she's only 4th grade, she thinks that it's Shizuka's fault. So she tries to take it out, all this anger out on her, and she believes that her parents will get back together. Now, it's not just like it's a normal, or, you know, her life will be back to normal. Now, it's not like it's a normal divorce or nothing like this. For one, her mom is refusing to, you know, sign the papers and do all this stuff. But she's also taking her anger out on her daughter, Shizuka. Now, I mean, it's low-key crazy. Out of all the characters, she definitely gets the most physical abuse, out of any of them. In terms of, like, parents-wise. Like, her mom straight up socks her, has her on the ground, and boom, boom, straight up bitch slapping her over and over. It's really fucked up. Like, it's a very, very sad scene, especially because in the one scene we see it in, it isn't technically through Marina, it's through Takopi doing stuff. But if you watch, you know what I mean. If you watch the anime, I hope you have. But it's kind of crazy. She's straight up getting beat. Like, I mean, beat. Now that is an excuse. That is not an excuse. That's why I said that earlier. You can't. It's hard to feel bad for her. Now you do not. I don't mean like. Okay, I sounded like so evil there. I mean, it's hard to feel bad for her given the fact, like, what she did to Shizuka. Like, no matter what, I don't get how you can, at your age, come to the conclusion that it's Shizuka's fault, and now I'm gonna go and kill her dog and stab her in the face. That's kind of crazy. But there's even one scene where she legit cuts her with glass. We don't see the glass cutting scene on screen, but we know what happens because in one of the future timelines, we see her get cut on the face. Now, I'm about to get into a massive spoiler territory here. So, like, I mean, it's an insane spoiler. This is practically, like, the whole anime, what I'm about to say here. So, if you haven't watched it, and for some reason you're still watching this video, I'm going to spoil you the most important plot twist in this whole anime. Okay, I hope I gave you, enough time. Okay. Kind of confusing. But basically, Takopi wasn't originally, like, Shizuka's, like, helping thing. He actually was Marina's. Like, in a past future, I don't even know how to, technically a past timeline, but it was in the future. She, or Takopi, was actually, Marina's, like, little helper thingy-majiggy. Now, in this timeline, Shizuka, I guess, moved away or something for a couple of years. And by the way, we're in high school now. Like, they're no longer in 4th grade, they're in high school. Shizuka, I guess, moved away for a couple of years. And her dog, I assume, maybe got killed as well still in this timeline, who knows. And in this timeline, Marina is getting, still daily abused by her mom. And they still haven't got divorced yet, by the way, her parents. Like, it's years later. And in this timeline, Azuma, we'll talk about more about Azuma in a minute. They're kind of dating, her and Marina. But Shizuka, I guess, transfers to this high school now. And Azuma sees her and is like, whoa, that's Shizuka. And he basically cuts off all the stuff with Marina to go and pursue Shizuka, because he says, back in the day, I was the only person she could rely on, and stuff like that. And this, of course, breaks Marina. Now, Marina goes back home. Now, her mom actually was in a very good mood this day, basically, because during this time frame, she, told her that Azuma was going to come over for dinner, and for some reason that, makes her, I guess, happy. So she starts doing it, and starts doing stuff for the dinner. Now, she tells her mom, yeah, he's not coming. And this causes her to, snap into a rage. Oh, it's because of your scars you have in the face that I gave you when you were young. It's my fault, you're blaming me. And starts going crazy. She, beats her up, breaks a glass, and is about to kill her. She's about to stab her to death. She had murder her own daughter. Then Marina, somehow or another, I guess, gets a piece of glass, slits her throat, and kills her mom. Now, Takopi, walks on in, it's like, oh, what happened here? Oh, my God. Oh, no. And Marina's basically saying, if I would have killed that damn Shizuka bitch all those years ago, none of this ever would have happened. And then Takopi's like, okay. And she's like, what? I'll go kill Shizuka. I'll go back in time and kill Shizuka so you, Marina, can be happy. And he does all of this, and I'm not going to get into all the details, but he goes back to his home planet and goes back in time, and then he gets found by Shizuka in this timeline and basically plans on killing her. So before we go any further onto that, because that's more we have to talk Azuma and Takopi stuff, as you can see, it isn't a clear-cut thing, because, yes, what Marina does to Shizuka is obviously stupid. You can't justify that. But in this timeline, her life is horrible, and you can't really blame Shizuka for it until, you can't blame her for it, but it's not, clear and cut. It's not black and white. It's kind of just insane how much, emotional diversity there is. You don't know whose side to pick, because it all sucks. But, you really can't pick a side. I'll get more into this later on, but they're all just little kids. They're all in 4th grade. They don't have, the emotional complexity to deal with these emotions and stuff and all these things. So it's really just a whole fucked up scenario. But anyway, let's get into Azuma next, because I think Azuma, he's definitely, the most, boring out of them, obviously. But he's very, very important to the whole plot. Okay, so I already said this earlier, but Azuma's getting manipulated by Shizuka throughout basically the whole anime. Now, the reason he falls for this manipulation, despite being fairly smart, is due to his parents. Well, due to his mom, mainly. He sees Shizuka, or sees his mom in Shizuka. So he kind of, views her as, an authority figure. And the reason for this is his mom is, I wouldn't say she's the worst out of all of them. Obviously not. I mean, she's at least present. She isn't a hooker. And, she isn't, beating him. But she is definitely the most emotionally tormented. She basically completely just emotionally toys with this kid. For one, okay, we gotta talk about his older brother first. His older brother, Junya, is a prodigy. He basically gets 100s on everything. Without studying, just always gets 100s. He can play video games, go to school, still get 100. Now, Azuma, he's not like that. He has to study. Now, despite studying, he only gets 95%, and his mom doesn't like that. They were raised the same way. So she emotionally torments him by saying, yeah, here's some pancakes. Oh, you didn't get 100? No pancakes for you. And yeah, it might sound stupid, and she calls him a failure or stuff like that. It's just words, but when you're that young and, that impressionable, it has a very, very massive effect on him and stuff like that. And, and throughout, she, sows the seeds of competition between mainly him and his older brother. His older brother doesn't need to compete, but he's, jealous of him because she's like, oh, you're going to surpass your brother. Oh, you're going to surpass your brother. Yet he never does. So it makes him get, like, jealous and kind of not like his brother, despite his brother being awesome, like, spending the last bit of money he has on his paycheck, buying him new clothes and stuff like that. And there's one scene where he's going to steal his brother's ring that he bought for his girlfriend. He doesn't end up going through with it, thankfully. But yeah, he get, all this emotional stuff. Now, here's where the thing with Azuma comes, into play at the end. After his, Shizuka tells him, after his Shizuka, Shizuka, tells him take the blame for the murder. He talks to his brother about it. His brother tells him, well, not about it, firstly. He explains, the stuff of his mother and all this emotional. He's like, you have me. You're not alone. You have me. And I guess somewhere or another, his brother ends up taking the fall for the murder. Which is kind of crazy. It's just, I don't even know how to feel about that. Like, I really can't explain how I feel about that, because in a way that kind of makes you mad at Azuma for allowing his brother to take the fall for it. But at the same time, Azuma really didn't do anything wrong, like, too wrong anyhow. Like, he didn't kill him. Technically, none of Shizuka nor Azuma, they didn't kill him. It was Takopi, the little weird squid. But they did hide the body. And, really, Marina did, I'm not going to say deserve to go, obviously, because that's fucked up. But, she abused the living shit out of Shizuka for no reason, really. But anyway, eventually, during, this is where the plot points start to connect, right? After the scene where Shizuka goes to her parent or her dad's house, finds a new family, and he treats her like nothing, and she realizes Chappie's not there, and Chappie's probably dead. That's when she takes it out on Takopi. Like, she grabs the rock and stuff like that. Now, Takopi goes back to the original meeting place, and, he, at that point, has the memories. The memories come back to his head of everything with Marina back in the day, how he was originally supposed to make Marina happy. Now, he literally just, boom, he killed Marina. So, he can't do it no more. He can't make Marina happy. So, he's trying to, figure out all these things, and Azuma comes around. And Azuma, basically, he comes and talks to him and thanks him and stuff like that. They start talking. And this kind of makes Takopi realize what he has to do. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Takopi. So Takopi is basically just the purest being in the universe. He's just happy. He's a Happian. And, it's kind of fucked up to think about, but a couple weeks on Earth and he starts killing people. That's kind of crazy. Now, when it comes to the one thing, well, minus the Marina killing, he didn't mean to kill Marina when he did it, by the way. He just, meant to stop the attack. But when he said, I'll go kill Shizuka for you, Marina, to make you happy. Bye-bye. I don't really think Takopi understood what that means. I don't think he fully understands killing, right? I don't think he understood that yet at that point. He may have, but I don't think he did, especially given the things he says, when Shizuka killed herself, and that's how he acts and stuff. I don't think he understood what killing entails. And that's fairly clear, like, when he meets Shizuka. Of course, his memory's gone, but he just wants to make her happy, because, he just wants to. Yes, he didn't understand. He didn't have the memory that, I was supposed to kill her. Yet, at least. But he wanted to make her happy. And that's just basically the whole thing. He just wants to make everyone happy. So it's kind of fucked up how that happened. Now, if you've noticed the one thing that I was saying, of course, if you watched this anime, you would know, but, basically, at this point, one of them kind of can't be around for them to stay happy. Like, in the one timeline, if Shizuka was dead, she would have been happy with Azuma and probably her mom, and Marina would have been. But in this one timeline, Shizuka would be sort of happy if Marina's gone. But that's the other thing we gotta talk about. That's not true. That is not true. Now, the reason that's not true is we see this. Even in that timeline, Marina would have had to kill someone. That could not be good, the repercussions of that. And in the timeline where Shizuka or Takopi killed Marina, we already seen the repercussions of that. It's not that good of a timeline. Shizuka becomes very manipulative. It completely exploits, Azuma entirely, and all that stuff. And, even later on, we see that she kidnaps her two sisters, I believe. Like, there's a newspaper thing. She talks about doing it, and I believe she follows through with it, and kidnaps her two little sisters that she doesn't even know are her little sister. Well, you know what I mean. They don't know that they're sisters. Well, she knows, but yeah. Kind of crazy. And in that timeline, everything. So, how do we get a good timeline? Well, again, very massive spoilers we're going to talk about. Takopi, in both the timelines that he was in, so there's the two main timelines. The one where Marina dies, and the one where Marina doesn't die, but, she kills her mom and all that stuff. So in both those two timelines, Takopi has positive impacts upon everyone. He has positive impacts upon Shizuka, Azuma in this one, and the other one he has positive impacts on Marina. So you know how the time travel device that he has is broken when he hit it on Marina? I don't know if I said that, but if you watched it, he broke it. He basically sacrifices his life to do it one last time. And in this new timeline, I guess subconsciously, his impact still exists. Yes, everyone forgets about him, but the impact he had on everyone is still there. That impact exists, and it repairs the timeline. It fixes itself. It has a good timeline. But at the same time, you gotta think about it like this. Yes, it's a good timeline for all the humans, but Takopi had to die for this. That's kind of fucked up, So in a way, it's a good timeline, but he had to die, which is sad. So yeah, it's really, the emotions are weird. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the full ending timeline, the full final good timeline. In this timeline, Shizuka and Marina are friends, and stuff like that. They're all fine. Their home life still sucks, but they at least now have each other to rely on. You can see that still in the final scene. Like Marina still has that cut on her, and obviously Shizuka is gonna be living in squalor still, I assume. But at least now they have each other to rely on, so they can get together and be happy. But here's the thing with that ending that I kind of didn't like. All right. Firstly, some people think it's rushed. I don't think the ending is rushed. Sure, it ended quick, but quick doesn't mean rushed. Let's get that. We have to separate the two. Quick and rushed are not the same thing. All right. So in my opinion, not a rush ending. I think it was actually a good ending. But I do have one complaint with it, I'd say. I also want to talk about the parents later on. The next thing we're talking about is the parents. But the one complaint I have with it actually has to do with Azuma. So one of, the canon key moments in it is he talks about, and the one time when he was talking to Takopi at the end there, what if I never got with, or never tried to help Shizuka? It would have ended up better, maybe. And he is right, that is what happened, because in the final scene, or the final, good timeline, he talks about PlayStation and makes friends for the first time ever, and with that, he decides not to help Shizuka. Now, I think that's an actual horrible message. He basically just doesn't help the girl no more. He sees a girl getting bullied. I don't think that should be a key point in making the good timeline. You know what I mean? I think that's dumb. I think it's a horrible message. Yeah, you see someone getting bullied. Fuck them. I'm gonna hang out and play PlayStation. I don't like that. I don't like how that's a factor that is 100% important for the good timeline to exist. I think that is stupid. Blatantly, completely stupid. It is a good timeline, but I think it sucks that Takopi had to die. It sucks he didn't get to go back to his home planet, because I didn't say this earlier, but his mother exiled him, but she now wants to talk to him and learn about all of Earth and stuff like that, but she can't no more. So that's kind of but was still a good ending, I think. I just don't like that. The main thing I don't like is the Azuma thing. I don't like how that was a factor. I think it's a stupid message. Okay, I see someone getting bullied. Nah, I don't care. Nah, fuck them. PlayStation. Stupid. Really stupid. But I think the core thing we gotta talk about with this is the parents. Because really, the main thing is the parents. The parents are what caused this whole thing, being shitty parents. So yeah, the fault of this whole anime is the parents. All this bullying and abuse, all this stems from the parents. Now, the parents are very important for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is that the kids, Shizuka, Marina, and Azuma, all exhibit traits from the parents. They act like their parents, specifically their moms, if you want to be exact. They all act like their mom. Now, here's the thing. Think about it like this. Shizuka's, well, not think about this. Shizuka's mom is a whore. Complete, utter whore. Her dad is not around. He's living in Tokyo, and when he sees his daughter, he acts like he doesn't know her and has a new family. He doesn't want that filth around, I guess. And then the second one, you have Marina's mom. Marina's mom is so abusive. Definitely the most abusive out of the parents. Beats her ass, stabs her. It's crazy. And her dad is, you know, out there being, you know, very just, you know, having sex with anything that moves, I guess. And of course, it's going to have a negative impact on the family life. And then going on, you have Azuma's mom. Now, Azuma's mom is a perfectionist, and she takes it out onto him. And his dad's, I don't think, around really. I think it said he's out of the country or something like that. I may have made that up in my head now I'm thinking about it, but he's not really around. And all the kids exhibit these behaviors. Firstly, Shizuka's mom is all about herself, right? She's all about having a man. She's all about self-preservation, I guess. And we see that through Shizuka. She's all about herself, you know what I mean? She can't be without Chappie. She needs kind of, I guess, exhibiting that, you know, like a relationship that Shizuka's mom has with the men. She needs that with Chappie. She can only be, like, she needs Chappie to survive, basically. And she then has the emotional, like, manipulation by, you know, saying, yeah, whatever. Like, I actually see the manipulation with her mom, too, saying that Chappie's still alive when Chappie wasn't alive. And then with Marina, you know, she's physically abusive, like her mom is. She beats up Shizuka. She stabs Shizuka. And then with Azuma, we see the perfectionist stuff, right? Like, that's why when he seeks the validation, for one, he seeks validation from Shizuka, but he also wants to be perfect at everything he does with it. But that ends up, when you chase perfection, I guess, you end up not being perfect, which is seen with the burial, how it's, I mean, the burial sucks, if I'm gonna be honest here. I mean, they literally hardly went. They didn't even go deep. They went like 6 inches and called it a day. Like, shit, can't see it. But eventually they do see it, of course. Honest to God, I'm probably like the worst person that you could watch to explain this anime or explain the emotional stuff. That's like not my forte. I low-key suck at that shit, like completely. But yeah, I mean, the emotions, crazy. The story, crazy. I don't even know, dude. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this anime was insane. The amount of just plot points and interconnected stuff. Like, if this didn't happen, none of it would be bad. If this didn't happen, none of this would happen. But this has to happen for all this to be good. I don't know. It's crazy. It was honestly an insane watch. Straight up, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is probably anime of the season. Seriously. I don't really see what else could overtake this anime. Like, that's not even glazing. I'm being serious. Like, this is straight up anime of the season. There's a few that can contend with it, but not really. I mean, this is insane. This was straight up one of the best anime I've watched. Like, it is only 6 episodes long, but the amount of just crazy depth to this story that it has in only 6 episodes and 16 chapters in the manga is insane, dude. It is straight up insane. If you haven't watched it already, well, you just got entirely spoiled, so I don't know. But if you have watched it, hopefully you have if you're on this video, insane. Insane. I don't really have anything else to add. I mean, Aoki suck at explaining shit. So yeah, like and subscribe and join my Discord server if you want, to where we can talk more about this anime in depth, hopefully. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.